UK-based retailer Kapow Toys has recently dropped the promotion of Prime versus Prime from their entire Facebook platform. Will Roboson, who's recently invited PvP to a live stream, do the same? We're going to explore all that and the latest news this week on Transformers Talk Raw. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Transformers Talk Raw podcast. I'm your host, Matt. We're going to get into a special subject this week. Then we're going to get into the news. But first off, if you haven't heard, you can click those various links in the description below. It's going to take you to all kinds of cool stuff, including our Facebook group. We'd love to see you guys there. Also, guys, we have a Patreon update. If you're interested in, or if you've ever been interested in supporting the podcast further here on YouTube and Spotify, you can go over there. We have a new tier you guys can sign up for. That's just $1 a month. You can help support the podcast further, and that goes to providing those giveaway figures, helping us upgrade our equipment, and so forth. It goes to a real good cause, guys, but we're going to have a new giveaway real soon. You also have that $3 tier if you're even in a position you're able to help the channel. But either way, guys, if you just listen, hit that like button. I sure appreciate your support. But yeah, on to the segment today. I don't know if you guys have heard, but a couple weeks back, I mentioned this before, the UK-based retailer Kapow Toys has promoted PvP on Facebook, but I got the opportunity to speak with them, and they're really cool guys over there, actually. And they actually took the time to converse with me, and I convinced them that of what PvP and his cronies have been doing for years, and they decided to pull their promotion of Prime versus Prime from the platform entirely. So that I consider that a huge victory. But now, a couple days ago, Roboson, which is a company licensed by Hasbro, not Hasbro at all, but they make those, the auto-converting Optimus you control with the app. They're overpriced and they're really expensive, but they're making them Bumblebee now. But they decided to invite PvP to some kind of live stream they had, and of course, I laid into them. Anybody that promotes Prime versus Prime, I lay into, and I just challenged them a little bit, and I sent some questions to them, and of course, they didn't respond, but it surprised me, guys, because I had a lot of supporters over there, or a few guys that actually spoke up with me, and no surprise, Protoman of the Slag podcast actually did too. To his credit, he sent them a message himself, addressing them on Twitter. And I have all the respect in the world for any content creator that risks alienating some of their listeners, that has the courage to do so, and speaks up against PvP, his cohorts, or his contemporaries about what they're doing. And I have the most respect for Protoman over there. He's doing a great job. He called attention to this. You have individuals who like to defend PvP and ask, well, what evidence do we have? That evidence is insurmountable. We've all done segments on it. I've done multiple segments on it. But I advise anyone who does require that evidence, or at least a place to start looking, because that's all it requires is you digging in and doing a little research, to go check out Daniel's video on the subject, the history of stolen toys within Hasbro and CD reviewers who receive and review that stolen property. I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can check it out. It's a great video. It's a couple years old now, but he, masterfully done. Tons of evidence shown in that video, just facts. He's presenting facts very clearly. And I've done multiple segments on it. You can go back and check it out. But, and there's other big-name content creators, or at least bigger than us here, that have spoken up about this. Super Robot Ed, my buddy Dennis Malton, Gotbot, and the lists go on and on. And there's a lot of fans, even on Twitter and on Facebook, that are getting tired of these antics and tired of these things. And, of course, PvP, every figure he gets, of course it's not stolen. But the majority are. And it doesn't take much to see that, guys. So if you're interested in putting a stop to it, guys, continually call Hasbro customer care, express your concerns, but also you can go in those links below and sign our change.org petition. We have almost 200 fellow trans fans who've already signed it. And of course, that's addressing YouTube to remove his channel from the platform, and Hasbro themselves. So if you want to do something awesome, go ahead and do that. But all props to any content creator, large ones that want to retweet messages that dig into PvP and his actions, or that don't remain complacent, that risk alienating their listeners, their viewers. Any content creator that does that stuff is awesome in my book, and they always will be awesome. And to the ones that don't, I think it's complacency, I think it's cowardice, and I am calling each of you out if you've never spoken out publicly against PvP. If you have a large listenership, if you have large channels, I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are, and if you're listening to this, I think you should take some action. You know that it's wrong. Even some of you have admitted to me privately that's wrong. Get up off your thumbs and speak up against this. Stop worrying about your clicks. Stop worrying about your subscribers and all that shit, because it doesn't matter. This stuff has to be put a stop to. It's time to do it, and and the time is right now. But anyhow, guys, on to the news. And this week, there's a few things I'd like to go over. Jada Toys now has their Series 3 diecast G1 and Beast Wars minifigs that have been found at U.S. retail. And of course, that includes RC and a few others, about a dozen others, and they look really cool. But also, Transformers the movie, the official stock images of the retro Skywarp and Shrapnel Walmart exclusives have been revealed. And of course, Skywarp has an MSRP of $34.97, that's US dollars, and Shrapnel is $29.97 US dollars. Of course, the Skywarp actually looks pretty good to me. I owned the original Skywarp, but it was way later when I was a teen. I acquired him. And he looks pretty accurate to me. I think the colors are a little off, but other than that, he looks fine. The Shrapnel, though, it looks like they neutered him, man. I mean, the colors of the insect legs are off. Of course, they don't have chrome. That I knew that going into it. It's going to be silver paint or silver plastic. It looks okay, but you can go back and get a G1 Shrapnel pretty cheap on eBay. I don't see the need to get this figure unless you're just a completionist. But if you have the desire to get it, they do look decent if you like that G1 style. But moving on, guys, 3-0 has their new Rise of the Beast Deluxe Optimus Prime that they've announced, and pre-orders are going to be up soon on all places like Entertainment Earth, BBTS, Robot Kingdom, and more. It stands 11.5 inches. It has 53 points of articulation, light-up eyes, die-cast parts, and many accessories. So pre-orders are going to be up soon for that. I imagine it's going to be a pretty penny, though, but it does look good if you like that Rise of the Beast style. But moving on to sightings this week, guys, we have the Rise of the Beast Voyager Wave 1 in Chile, which is, of course, Optimus, Rhinox. The Legacy Core Class Wave 6 in Australia has been sighted, retail. The Buzzworthy Bumblebee RID 2000 tow line has been found in Malaysia, along with the Legacy Deluxe Medics. And they look real good, especially that tow line. I'm kind of excited for that one. I liked RID 2000. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. But let's see here. But yeah, and just another note, guys. We're going to no longer be sharing any news related to or promoting in any way the company's RoboSun, the forum of TFW, TF Source, or any agency or company in any way that has in the past supported PvP and not ceased doing so. I don't think it's right. I know some of you guys may be sick of hearing me talk about this stuff and go on about PvP, but it's something that this channel is dedicated to doing, is putting a stop to the theft that's continuing within our hobby. We know this stuff, a lot of these figures don't have the packaging because the packaging's printed in Canada and it never had the packaging. Of course, Prime vs. Prime, he's never answered any questions when asked by anyone about this stuff. People say he was invited to official events. He was never invited to any Hasbro official events by them themselves. He was never sent anything by Hasbro themselves. It's always either Paramount, it's always some other company, even one that might be licensed by Hasbro. But to my knowledge, Hasbro does not approve of his actions, and they have, in passing, at least, told me as much. But there's no doubt this stuff is stolen. But anyhow, I digress, guys. This is going to be a shorter segment. We had a few comments from last week, but and to be honest with you guys, totally honest, I've been in a bit of a personal pickle lately. We're going to get out of it, though. Just a little bit of, like I said, personal troubles I'd rather not get into on the podcast, but everything's going to be just fine. We're going to be back next week with a new and longer segment. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll check you guys later. Tell everyone. This podcast is made possible thanks to the support of great people like you. Thank you.